lately he's called me a socialist for wanting to roll back the Bush tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans so we can finally give tax relief to the middle class. I don't know what's next. By the end of the week, he'll be accusing me of being a secret communist because I shared my toys in kindergarten. I shared my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Look, that's his choice. That's the kind of campaign he chooses to run. But you have a choice too. The fundamental question in this election is not, are you better off than you were 4 years ago? We know the answer to that. The fundamental question is, will we be better off 4 years from now? For 8 years, we've seen Washington take care of the extremely well-off and the extremely well-connected. And now my opponent's making the same arguments to justify the same old policies that have been a complete failure for the middle class. I mean, the arguments he's making now are the same arguments that George Bush made all these years. Kept on saying, you know, if we give tax cuts to all these really wealthy people, it's going to help everybody. It'll grow the economy. The economy has not been growing, and the average middle-class family is $2,000 poorer now than when George Bush took office. When Bill Clinton was president, your average wages and incomes went up $7,500. Under George Bush, it went down $2,000. So if I've got economic theories that are similar to Bill Clinton's, and he's got economic theories similar to George Bush's, you can look and see which one worked and which didn't. The facts are there for everybody to see. John McCain wants to give more to billionaires, more to corporations that ship jobs overseas, more to the same people whose greed and irresponsibility got us into this crisis in the first place. And we're here because we know they shouldn't get away with it anymore. We don't need another president who fights for Washington lobbyists in Wall Street. We need a president who stands up for hard-working Americans on Main Street, and that's what I intend to be. With 6 days left, it's time for the American people to think very hard about what 4 years of John McCain's policies would mean for the middle class. If Senator McCain is elected, 100 million Americans will not get a tax cut. But the average Fortune 500 CEO will get $700,000 in tax relief. Average Fortune 500 CEO will get an average of $700,000. Big oil will get $4 billion. Somebody said that ain't right. Not only is it not right, it ain't right. If Senator McCain is elected, your health care benefits will get taxed for the first time in history. And at least 20 million Americans risk losing their employer-based health insurance. That ain't right. If Senator McCain is elected, we'll have another president who wants to privatize part of your Social Security. That ain't right. Can you imagine if you had your Social Security invested in the stock market these last 2 weeks, these last 2 months? You wouldn't need Social Security. You'd be having a, you know, like, what was it, Sanford and Son? You'd be like, I'm coming, wheezy. It ain't right. If John McCain is elected, he won't make your college tuition affordable. His campaign has no plan to make college more affordable. So then somebody asked, a reporter asked one of his chief economic advisors, why don't you have a plan to make college more affordable? And they said, we don't have the money to give a whole bunch of money to a bunch of interest groups. Interest groups. I don't think young people in America are an interest group. I think they're our future. So whether you are Susie the student, or Nancy the nurse, or Tina the teacher, or Carl the construction worker, if my opponent is elected, you will be worse off 4 years from now than you are today. So let's cut through the negative ads and the phony attacks. Under John McCain, the middle class will watch wealth get favored over work. Jobs get shipped overseas. The healthcare costs and college costs continue to go through the roof. North Carolina, we know that just won't do. Not this time. It is time for change. It is time to do what's right for you, what's right for our economy, what's right for our country. That's why I'm running. That's why you're here. That's why we're going to win on November 4th.